All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this week we might be having some friends from other classrooms join us, and I will tell you why in a moment. Our math is surrounding your trials for your Mitmobiles. Okay, so the distances that your Mitmobiles have traveled. Now, in-person classrooms are running these tests in person and watching and writing that down. That wouldn't be fair for you guys at home because we don't all have the same ramp with the same type of floor. So what I have done is I have gone back through your trial data so far, and I have pulled your best runs that you have turned in to me. If you haven't turned it in, I made up a number for you and it wasn't a winning number. I'll let you know that. So your data is what I am pulling these, or your trials is what I am pulling this data from, okay? Now, on Friday, when you come in, that's when we're gonna run all of your cars on the same track, on the same floor, okay? So that's when we'll do it. In-person classes are doing that now. We're gonna do it all on Friday to get qualified for the race. But we still need to get practice with graphing our data. So without further ado, we are going to take a look at graphing your data with line plots today, okay? So using a line plot to track the data. Let's review what a line plot is with this short, brief video, and then we will get started.
Hey guys, I am over here. Come closer. I am the number 1, and I am going to learn about line plots today. Would you like to learn about line plots with me? Great! Let's go over here to collect our data for the line plot. We are going to get our data by measuring the lengths of some objects that I have. We will then write the data we collect on a piece of paper and use that data to make a line plot. My friend Speedy will bring us some objects to measure. Here we have a pencil, and we need to measure the length. We will be measuring to the nearest whole number. Can you tell me the length of the pencil? The pencil is 6 inches long. Great job! Here we have a marker. How long is it? The marker is 6 inches long. Here we have a book that is 9 inches long. Hey Speedy, can you bring us one more thing? It looks like Speedy wants to be measured. What is the length of my friend Speedy? Speedy, it looks like you are 4 inches long. I have already measured several other objects before you got here, and I have all of our measurements included on this board.
Okay, so he's measured objects. They were 2 inches, 3 inches, and 3 inches. There were 3 objects that were 4 inches. There were 4 objects that were 6 inches. There's 1 object that was 9 inches. These are all of his measurements. I've gathered your measurements from your trial data. Here's what we're going to do with them.
Each number is a measurement of the length of an object. We need to put this information into a line plot so we can see this more clearly. To start out the graph, we first need a title. What do you think we should call this line plot? Object measurements or colors? I agree, we should call it object measurements since it is about measurements of objects. Next thing we need when doing line plots is a straight line. All of our information we collected was measured in inches, so here to the side we will put inches. Okay, here we have the numbers from 1 to 9 listed, so we can show our data. So now we look at our data to help us fill in the line plot. We can see that we only had one item that measured 2 inches, so we put 1x here to represent that item. We had 2 items that measured 3 inches, so we have 2 x's on top of each other to represent those 2 items. There were 3 items that measured 4 inches, so we have 3 x's on top of each other. We had 4 items that measured 6 inches, so we put those x's down as well. We only had one object that measured 9 inches, so just 1 x. This is awesome, guys! We just made a line plot that shows the measurements of the objects that I had. When we see a mark above a number, it tells us how many times that number occurs. For example, we can see that above the 4 we see 3 X's, which means there were 3 objects that measured 4 inches long. So with this information, can you guys tell me how many objects did we have that measured 6 inches long?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Great job! We had 4 items and we can see that in this line plot. We look at the 6 and above the number we see 4 X's, which represent the 4 items that measured 6 inches. Great job, guys! Thanks for your help. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
All right, so let's take a look at using our line plot data today. On your activities, you have one that is titled Mint Mobile Trial Number 1, Data Collection Line Plot. Go ahead and hop to it. Okay, we're going to add a response. Today we're going to be using the data from the, I don't remember, I'm sample student, from the tables that I pulled for you, okay? So again, we are creating a scaled picture graph, bar graph, and frequency tables to represent a data set. We're going to focus on line plots today from, our data sets. Levin, a question.
I'm just probably in the top, but is this our last week of school?
No,
How many more weeks do we have?
you have next week. Let's stay focused, kiddo. Yes, William.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's what you wanted to say? Okay. All right, hop to slide 2, please. Here's what we're going to do. This is the data that I pulled from our class's assignment last week of your Mint Mobile trials, okay? We're going to arrange our data into the table where it belongs. I want us to look at this first row first, okay? These have been measured in centimeters, the distances traveled by your car. These are the ranges that are applicable to our data. We're going to move these numbers into the range where they belong, okay? So let's take a look at 53. 53 is in the 5/10s place, so we're going to go here until we get to 50. Here's 50. 53 is in between 50 and 59, because if I start at 50, 51, 52, 53, I say that before I get to 59. So write the number 53 in the range of 50 through 59, excuse me. And then I'm going to cross out 53 so that I don't accidentally place it twice. I am writing, you are writing, I am typing, you are typing. So now let's look at 45. 45 over here on my ranges is between 0 and 49. This is a very low range for our Mint Mobile. 45 has been placed. It is between the numbers 0 and 49. Okay. Let's take a look at 60, or I apologize, at our next number, which is 107. 107. I'm going to look on my ranges here. 100 is bigger than 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm in the hundreds. 107 is after 100. It is before 109. So that is 107. So 107 is placed in that range. Go ahead and place it in that range. Are there questions about how I'm placing these numbers so far? Okay, let's take a look at our next one. Our next one is 94. Someone's car traveled 94 centimeters. That is bigger than 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. There it is in the 90s. I'm going to place 94 centimeters in the range of 90 to 99. So far, the car that has traveled 107 centimeters is the winner so far. Let's take a look at 72. 72 is bigger than 50, 60. It's in the 70 to 79 range. I count 70, 71, 72. So that goes in the 70 to 79 range. So far, 107 is still the winner. Oops, I'm gonna press enter. Okay, so that's our first row. Yes, Levin.
Why are there 272s?
Because where are 272? Down here, two people's car drove 72 centimeters. And that's possible, right?
Well, the other 72?
Do what?
Do you want us to draw another 72 too?
We will get there when we get there. You're 5 numbers ahead of me. Okay. All right. Yes, Terrence.
So at 78, if there's more than one number in that section, do we put both?
We're going to talk about that next. You guys are jumping ahead. Hang tight. All right. Let's take a look at our next row. I want you guys to do this row with me. Okay, you're going to be telling me where I put it. So let's look at this next row. I'm going to circle it in pink so we can focus on it. We've got the range 78. Someone's car went down the ramp and got to 78. What range is 78 going to go into? Where am I going to place 78? Terrence?
I'm going to place it in the 70 to 79.
Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comma and I'm going to put 78. So there are 2 cars in the 70 to 79 range. Cross it out. Let's take a look at our next one, 61. Where does 61 go? What range does 61 fall between? Levin?
Range of 61. 60 to 69. Sorry,
that is correct. You're all right. 61 is in between the numbers 60 to 69. Next up, we got 99. Where does 99 go? Nice. Extra what? On that table back there. In that bag right there. All righty, 99. Where's 99 going to go? 8 and G. Where's 99 go? What range?
90 at 90 to 99.
That is correct. 90 to 99. So again, it's our second range. We're going to put a comma and place our second number. Okay. So yes, when we have more than one range, we're going to add it in that same list, just like our video showed. We've got 52. Daniel, where is 52 going?
52 goes to the 50 to 59.
That is correct, because 52 is between the numbers 50 and 59. What about 72? Where's 72 going? Vinny, where's 72 going to go?
70 to 79.
Excellent. 72 is going to go in 70 through 79. So look at that. There are two 72s. We do write both of them, okay? Because two cars drove to 72 centimeters. Two different people's cars, okay? All right. I'm going to stick you guys into a breakout room, and I want you to take a look at the remaining numbers. And I want you to place these numbers in their correct range, okay? So you're going to put your numbers into the correct range with your partners. I'm going to turn on your screen sharing so that you can share your screens to double check with each other. But that is what you're going to do. Finish the rest of these numbers, okay? Welcome back. Let's see how you did. Here is where your data should have been placed. Going straight down the list, starting at the top, we have 45 centimeters. Then we have 53, 52, and 59 centimeters. 61 and 60 centimeters. In our 70s, this was our most popular option. We have 72, 78, 72, 74, 76, 75. Most cars were in the 75 range, or 75 had the most cars. Okay. And yes, you are supposed to put the number as many times as it appears. If you don't, it's just one person's car got to 72, but we had 3 people's car drive 72 centimeters. So we're showing all 3, okay? Then you went to 81, 94, 99, 96, 93. And then 107 and 119. So the car that drove 119 centimeters so far is the winner. Okay, that is our longest driving car. So far, that is the winner. All right. Unfortunately, our car would not win the whole grade level race because one of Miss Renee's cars went 120 something centimeters. So we got our work cut out for us, kiddos. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take this data and we're going to turn it into a line plot. So hop to slide 3. On slide 3, we see the same data table that we just had, but this time it's going to be turned into a frequency table. So let's go see how many cars we had between 0 to 49. 1 car. It was the 45. So we're going to put a number of 1 inside of that range. 1 car, I don't want to do it in green. 1 car drove between 0 and 49 centimeters. Okay, let's take a look at our next range. How many cars were in the 50 to 59? Hop back to slide 2. There were 1, 2, 3 cars in the 50 to 59 range. So I'm going to put 3 tallies. 1, 2, 3. I am writing, you are writing. Okay. Let's hop back and count how many 60 to 69 ranges we had. 1, 2. 1 car drove 61 centimeters, another car drove 60 centimeters. So 2 cars between that range. Okay. Let's take a look at the 70 to 79. This had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cars drove between 70 and 79 centimeters. So we're going to tally out 6. Okay. Let's take a look at the 80 to 89. 1. There is one car that drove 81 centimeters. So that gets 1 tally mark. Now we're taking a look at our 90 to 99. Let's go look back at that range on slide 2. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 different cars represented in that range. So on our tally chart, we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 tallies to represent that. Let's take a look at 100 to 109. There's one car. It gets 1 tally, 1 set of data. And finally, our last one was 110 to 119. There's one car in that range. It was the 119 centimeter winning car for trial number 1. And again, this was based on your first trial's data, okay? Not overall. I just went and I looked at your trial number 1. What length did you have? Not your final trial, okay? Now, our goal is to create scaled graphs. So what we're going to do is we're going to scale this now. We're going to create larger groupings, okay? This chart has the same data ranges, but they have been combined. So I want you to combine them with me. Grab a highlighter, any color. We're going to change colors a lot. 0 to 49 is the same as 0 to 49. So let's go ahead and put a 1 there. That is a range of 50 or 49 different centimeter options that stayed the same. Grab a different color highlighter. Look at this range. This is 50 to 69. So that includes this range and this range. It's combining them. See that? That goes from 50 to 60. So let's tally how many we have in both of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ms. Sousa, why are we combining groups? Great question, guys. We are combining groups so that our graph is easier to read. If we had to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 ranges, it'd be this big. Okay, our graph would be huge. It'd be very difficult to read. So we're minimizing that. Grab a different color highlighter. This goes from 70 to 89. So I'm going to use all of my 70 data and all of my data in the 80s range. Okay, so this is 2 groups of data, and we're going to tally. We have 6 plus 1. That's 7 ranges. So 7 cars drove in the 70 to 89 range. Not bad for a day 1 trial. Grab a different color highlighter. Now we've got 90 to 109. So I'm going to start at 90. I'm going to go down to the group that ends with 109. This has 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5. So we have 5 cars that drove in the 90 to 109 range. Grab a different color highlighter. Finally, we're going to go to 110 all the way up to 129. So that's my 110s and my empty 129 range. There is 1 car in this range, and if this were the race that day, that car would be the winner. right? So what have we done? We've simplified our data. We've made it easier to read by creating less categories. Okay, that's all we've done. We're going to use this simplified data to create our line plot. I'm going to do one category with you, and the rest of this is going to be independent work. Okay? Let's take a look at our line plot. You will see down here that our ranges match the simplified chart we just completed. Okay, 0 to 49, right here, 0 to 49. 50 to 69, right here, 50 to 69. Okay, so let's take a look at one of these together that we can graph. Let's look at the 50 to 69 range. Okay, I see that there are 5 tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on the 50 to the 69 range, and that was my orange range, if that color coding helps you. On my 50 to 69 range, I need 5 votes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab an X here so that way I can just duplicate it instead of drawing it a bunch of times, right? And I need 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This represents 5 cars were inside of the 50 to 69 range. 5 cars, the 53, the 52, the 59, the 61, and the 60 were all in that 50 to 69 range. Okay. You're going to do this for each range. So like right here, I already finished this one, so I'm going to put a green check by it. It's done. I did the 50 to 59. You are going to graph the remaining ranges on your line plot. Using your graph, you are going to answer the 3 questions on slide 5. What range distance had the most Mintmobiles? If you've been paying attention, you know that. What was the highest distance range for your class? If you've been paying attention, you know that. And how did your Mintmobile compare to the rest of the class? Think about your range and how you've done so far, and how are you doing compared with the data that you see. Okay? What questions can I answer about what you're going to do today? Yes, Terrence.
On the slide 4, could we use stars?
Sure, it's a line plot. You just have to have the same symbol. As long as you have a symbol, you're good. Most line plots will use X's. What I don't want to see is this. I don't want to see some of them have X's and some of them have stars and some of them have cloud. That's not a line plot, okay? You need to have a consistent symbol. So if you want to use all stars, that's fine. If you want to use all hearts, that's fine. But you have to have the same symbol, okay? Good question. Other questions? Okay, this is your task. Remember, your other task during these work times is to get your car to go farther. So now that you've seen, oh snap, on day 1, somebody's car went 119 centimeters. Shucks, mine's only going 80. You've got 30 centimeters of work to do if you want to win that race. Okay, so test your cars and continue making improvements and changes. All right. Okay, friends, this is your task for today.